Waid Harbison here, Chairman of the Cullman County Republican Party. I'm here with Judge Martha Williams. She's our current circuit judge. She's going to be running again for re-election. So Martha, if you will just start out telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Martha Williams, and I was born and raised in Cullman. My parents were Dr. Roy and Lucille Williams. I had a sister, Nina, and most of you might know my brothers, Roy and Dr. Dan Williams. I raised my daughter, Lucy, here in Cullman. I'm married to Bill McCartney, and we are very involved in the ministries at Grace Episcopal Church.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about what your background qualifies you to be a judge here in Cullman.
Well, I was actually on law review at the University of Alabama School of Law, and after that, I had the opportunity to clerk for the presiding judge on the Court of Civil Appeals before coming back to Cullman and starting my practice. I handled domestic cases like divorce and child custody, workers' compensation, car wrecks, contract disputes, probate, just about everything, and also criminal defense work. Then after that, I went to the district attorney's office, and I was responsible for prosecuting serious felony offenses involving child victims. So I've handled every kind of case that can come before a circuit judge, and I've actually handled it from both sides.
Right.
Most importantly, it's been my honor and my privilege to serve as one of your circuit judges for the last 5.5 years.
That's great. So, you've been on the bench for about 6 years now. Obviously, there's a lot that goes on with the judicial process, a lot of people involved and everything like that. And of course, you get a lot of different cases. There's a lot of things that come before you. Is there anything that you think that you could do to make the judicial process any better?
Well, I think Judge Nicholas and I have both done a lot to make it more efficient. We have divided the dockets so that I'm primarily responsible for the criminal cases, and he for the domestic docket. In addition, both of us have done what we can to try to streamline our necessary administrative duties so that we can spend more time focused on the cases that are actually in front of us.
Right, that's great. Another big concern people have a lot of times with judges is legislating from the bench. And a lot of times we have federal judges that will kind of come up with a mandate that just really doesn't match up. So what is your take on that?
Well, the oath that I took says that I'm to follow the law. So, and the law, of course, comes from the U.S. and Alabama constitutions and from the statutes passed by our legislative bodies. I realized that probably some from the judicial and executive and legislative branches might think they could do the other's job a little better. And I guess I might fall into that category sometimes, but I know what my job is, and it is to follow the law.
Absolutely. Well, two big concerns, with the state of Alabama really are prison overcrowding is one thing, mental health is another thing, and of course the courts play a big part into that. Is there anything you see that maybe could solve those issues from the judicial side?
Well, I think that due to lots of factors, including funding problems, prison overcrowding is a fact. But I do think that maybe confinement could be a little more fair. I realize I just said that judges shouldn't try to legislate from the bench, but I would implore our legislators to give us actual truth in sentencing. It's not unusual for me to realize that we have a statute that calls for a certain range of sentence for the conviction of a certain kind of crime, and I might lawfully and properly sentence someone to 7 years only to receive in the mail a notice from the Board of Pardons and Paroles that a notice that says that the defendant has either been up for parole or has in fact been paroled and is on his way back to Cullman. Now, I can't do anything about that, and I think that the public should know that. It certainly doesn't incentivize the defendant to change his behavior, and
Sure.
It's not really fair and justice for the rest of the community.
Absolutely. Was there anything else that you would like to add or let anybody know?
Well, yes. Having said what I'm up against and the kind of things that I deal with, I'm often asked, why is it that you would want to have a job where everybody you deal with is either in trouble or they're angry or they're mad or sad? And my answer is always the same. Where else should I be? Where else can I use the talents that I've been given and the experience that I've earned to better serve the community that I love? So I'm not going to give up on us or you or the people that come into my courtroom, and I'm asking to continue this job. So I would ask for your prayers and your support and your vote on June the 5th.
thank you.
Thank
Judge
you.
Williams, we appreciate you being here and wish you well in your campaign.
Thank you.